And tonight, by popular demand, we have a special guest. Are you there, special guest?
Yes, I am.
Do you want to introduce yourself? Because I know people have demanded that you come on and tell your story.
Sure. Yep. Uh, my name is JC. I, for folks that have kind of kept up with the story here with JB, I was the initial investigator that walked in and kind of took on the whole situation that's going on with JB and still kind of currently going on with with his house and just with his life in general. Um, uh, to be completely upfront with everybody for folks that have been asking about where what kind of happened to me or where I've been. I'll explain that here throughout the show, but to make a long story short, I just I honestly had to get away from that place for a little bit and just kind of break away. There was things that were starting to happen with me. um uh, Health problems for one, and I here again, I don't know if I want to blame this stuff on what's going on with JB and what's going on over at that house, but it's just odd now, you know after taking part and with that whole situation and trying to figure out what was going on, try to help JB out. I've not gone downhill. I mean, life just happens. Life is life, but there's just been some oddball stuff that I wouldn't have seen. That would have, I don't know, just things that I didn't think were going to happen to me with the aftermath kind of situation. So, but I'm here tonight to maybe fill everybody in on what I've been doing. I am alive. I'm not dead. I'm here. Floated off to the right of my front porch, and it disappeared. So to try to make sense of what was going on, I'm like that had to have been somebody in some kind of a costume or Halloween costume. Like I just it didn't make any sense to me, none. So I sat back down, um, and I'm just freaked out. I mean, just flat out freaked out. Um, Sat here for a little while, and I heard the sounds again, and I'm like, "God, what the hell's going on?" So I opened the door. No, nothing out there. As I turn away from the door, I shut the door, and I heard this banging on my door this time. Like it was on the door, like they were knocking on the door. And look outside, look out the peephole, and there is this thing again. And at this point, I am freaking out. I mean, literally, like, what am I looking at? I'm not I'm not on drugs. I'm not drinking. I'm not taking medication that's going to cause hallucinations. I've had plenty of sleep. This is not happening. I mean, literally, this cannot be happening. And I was just staring outside at through the peephole on my door, watching this thing like float back and forth on my front porch. And I remember that its eyes were the eyes on this thing were glowing, and it had kind of an amber color, and you could I could see through it partially, and it was just scary. I don't even know how to. It bothers me talking about this still. I don't even know how to quite put the thing into words. Um, so at that point, fall reminds me of it, the certain sounds and stuff. Now, if I look at a leaf rake, it reminds me of it. That's why I use that analogy. That's what a leaf rake. I do think about it.
What do you think of that, JB, listening to the story since, you've got very similar stuff going on in your life? I mean, do you have any theories about what that might have been or, anything like that?
Like I've always said, man, it's a thumbprint. They're all different. It's the amount of fear that it brings to you, I think, is what varies. I mean, there's that excited fear that I experienced when this all first started. What he went through when he first saw it, that's like jumping right into the fire from where I started. I progressed. I was able to, be like, okay, that was scary. Whoa, that was fucked up. And then it got a little worse, and then a little worse, and then a little worse, and then I'm where I'm at now. If you were to jump into any scenario like he was saying, that's changed your life and call a motherfucker shit.
Yeah. When you said that thing was staring at you, it knew you were looking through the peephole, man. That gave me chills, man. There's no way for anybody to kind of to fake that. That's like no. This thing knows that I'm standing here behind this door watching it. That creeped me out.
And the call stops. That's not something. If you're tripping out and shit like that, the last thing you need to be around is a phone. But you're sitting there dead-eyed, and you only in the same spot, and you're not hearing voices and other shit. The psychiatrists tell you get more sleep. They wouldn't try to give you meds over something like that. If she told that story to a psychiatrist, it'd probably scare the fuck out of that doctor.
Did it occur to you when you were going through that experience to like, hey, I should grab my phone and try to document this? Or was it, and JB probably knows this too, it's like sometimes things happen too fast and you don't react like you would normally do.
In retrospect, I would have loved to have caught that thing on camera, man.